But the Weather Channel was predicting that the weather is going to be moving north, northeast, and other states are in the sights of this storm, and we need to be praying for those that they will not have to suffer a major disaster such as what Oklahoma did. But there was nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in those elementary schools. I mean, those poor children, they were kept in the schools, and it was somebody's judgment call they had to make, and you never know what a tornado is going to do. You never know. They're more unpredictable than a hurricane. So anyway, you're looking for more bad weather today. They're looking for severe thunderstorms with hail and damaging wind gusts to roll from Texas to the Mississippi Valley and the Ohio Valley and into the Great Lakes. And they said that areas that should prepare for the severe weather include Dallas, Fort Worth, Shreveport, Louisiana, St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, and Columbus, Ohio. All of these places are in the target zone today. They're in the red zone for severe weather. Here in South Carolina, we've had a deluge of rain falling, and we haven't had any tornadoes, but we've had our share, and we've had some that have gone through some towns in the past and has created some terrible damage. Moving on, a related story is CBS is pulling the Mike and Molly tornado themed scene finale. They won't be seeing the Monday's season finale episode, which was scheduled to debut 9:30 p.m. They pulled it in light of Monday's devastating tornado in Oklahoma, and I think you can understand the reason why. A statement from CBS is, due to the tragic events this afternoon in Oklahoma, we are preempting tonight's season finale of Mike and Molly, which has a related storyline. CBS spokesperson told The Wrap a repeat of Mike and Molly will run in the time period. The season finale will be broadcast at a more appropriate date, and that's being done out of respect for the tragedy that happened yesterday. Other things in the news, which are almost insignificant compared to what this tragedy was. But a study for the U.S. Says the U.S. is about to go bankrupt. You can go to YouTube and you can go to our next bankruptcy and find that out. YouTube.com. Find out more on that about why they're saying what they're saying. But a new study is saying that the Iraq and Afghanistan wars were financed entirely through borrowing. And guess what the price tag is? You're talking about America's going to go bankrupt. Obama's being pressured to get involved in Syria. However, the United States borrowed a staggering $4 to $6 trillion to fight the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. $4 trillion to $6 trillion they borrowed. And Where are they going to get that money? There's no war budget. The money will have to come through probably inflation, probably hyperinflation, like it did after the Vietnam War. When Jimmy Carter had to put in all kinds of price control freezes and wage freezes and everything else in order to sort out the mess of what was going on, with the economy, that what the war did to the U.S. economy at that time. I said $2 trillion has already been spent on each of these two wars, and it's only a fraction of the total cost for the long-term commitments for the expenses of medical care and disability benefits to veterans. So it will continue for decades. So that, in addition to all of the other problems that we have, you can plainly see that the United States is in a lot of trouble. And if this country doesn't return back to God and stop its trek on trying to wipe him out and get him out of society and get him off the dollar and get him off the public buildings and get him back in school, if we don't do these things, this is the result of what's going to happen to America. We're going to be a rubble heap. God will take his protective hand off of this country and will allow Satan to destroy it. And some of you may be laughing and going on and saying, who is this crazy loony you're talking about this stuff? But I'm telling you, it's for real. You are real. Your surroundings are real. This just didn't happen. Your heart is beating on its own. You don't have to will for it to happen. The universe, the earth, everything is created in perfection. The only thing that went wild was mankind. But there's a lot of things that don't hit the mainstream media, and this is coming from a source that I go to from time to time, and it's blacklistednews.com. But there's a lot of things in the news that you don't hear about, and one of them is Obama's administration spied on Fox News reporter James Rosen, and the Justice Department spied extensively on him in 2010, collected his telephone records, tracked his movements in and out of the State Department, and seized 2 days of his personal emails. And that was originally sourced from the Washington Post, reported yesterday. Another story that's not being carried by the main media is ammo shortage continues across the U.S. The U.S. government bought up a lot of private ammo to try to create a shortage, and they had no need for it, but they bought it anyway. So they created a shortage. So it's kind of like a run around the end zone type move to get around the Constitution of saying, you can have a gun and you can have that, but they're going to hold the bullets. In fact, yesterday, California announced that that they're going to start stamping the bullets with a code that is going to indicate what bullet, what gun it was fired from. So it's not going to be any more guessing like in the old TV shows where the people were had to run it through the crime lab to find out, if a certain bullet came from a certain gun. Although, anything man-made can be uh, twisted and turned to fit the story. So you have to wonder, if that's really going to be a good thing or not. Sounds like a good idea, but overall it may not. It's going to have a micro stamp on it. Is what they call it, and it's going to be on all semi-automatic handguns. So when the shell is ejected, the micro stamp goes on it. That doesn't mean that it can't be manipulated. So just keep that in mind. We've got to be ever vigilant to protect our liberties, or else dictatorships and totalitarian governments that want to know your every move. They want to know what you eat. They want to know what you're watching on TV. They want to know where you're going. They want to know just about everything about you. Well, what are they so worried about? The population has more to worry about them than they do about the population. Silver took a plunge as the yen was dropping. The Japanese liquidated with a massive margin call that was the same as someone forced to dump a lot of silver into a thin, no volume trading, taking out the entire bid stack on what can only be described as get the blank out and pay me anything liquidation, sending the precious metal to just over $20. But automatic buying programs kicked in and sent it right back up. But the Japanese were manipulating the yen, and it caused a huge drop in silver prices. That really wraps it up for us today here at our show, and I hope that you will keep these people in mind in Oklahoma and these other states as well that are in the danger zone today, and pray that we will not have any more disasters like we had yesterday, and pray that rescue people will find many people, more people alive and well. This is Dan Beasley in Hartsville, South Carolina, signing off today, and may God bless you and be with you.